Okay, that was a short video interview which was done by MAP in Morocco. Apparently that's the project which I've actually spoken about, which has taken me somewhat 20 years to complete. Basically this project is being done in a small house which is about 81 square meters in a very sort of impoverished area, just a normal area. But I've managed to actually try and create some architectural illusions, like from Andalus, Morocco, and what can make them together. So today I have, alhamdulillah, many visitors, and like European visitors from South America, or what have you, some prominent people. And it's an example which I would like to share with you architecturally, because at the moment our Islamic civilization, or architectural elements, what have you, have reached an edge. Today only the rich may want or can afford to do it. I actually work with some very simple material and try to produce some replicas from Andalus and Morocco, and including this. This is a mosque. This is in Toledo. It's been built in 390 Hijri, which is 999 AD. It's 1,015 years old. Now this unique building, it's a mosque which was built in a rich Muslim area at the time, and apparently it had no, obviously there's no dome or minaret, but in 1200 it's been actually converted to a church apparently. When I actually visited in 2006, I felt quite sorry for it because it's such a beautiful building. In fact, they were actually renovating it and everything. But one of the most amazing things is that these arches, these are locked arches, and again, Gothic architecture has been actually taken from these arches that we know. So you have Gothic architecture. And it's just fascinating. I made a replica, a small replica in my house. I had no more space, but I used the garage to actually produce this section. Now this section has been built with simple bricks, just simple bricks. These are very cheap. This is one of the most cheapest material you can actually buy. But apparently in Morocco today, we're no longer using these bricks. We're using them for sewage. When we try to create the sewage channels for a house, we use these bricks. Otherwise, we no longer use them. But they're fascinating. And these are just small little bricks, which I bought from the Qasim in Morocco, and these are from Qasr Kabir. And as you can see, this is a replica of that mosque. And I just wanted people to know about it because it's just an incredible, it's Cordovan architecture, and it's just fascinating. So this is a section which I have in the house, which is in the garage. So I'm going to give you a little tour from the garage to the roof, and I'll explain as I go along. This is the actual house itself. This is the first floor. And as you can see, some of the designs you see here are my own designs, and some of the designs I've used are deliberate from Andalus and various parts of Morocco. As you can see, this is a wall unit. I've used traditional bricks, and it's got zalij and everything. And just a few months ago, when I did a talk for Academy of Traditional Arts in Morocco, in Casablanca, Morocco, I gave this as a project to the students to actually try and work on, and see if they can actually work. Because I had students from various schools of Islamic architecture, traditional sort of craftsmanship, and each one was adding their own ideas to produce a small version of this. This is the inside, as you can see. It's very small, it's only 81 square meters, but this is what I managed to actually create inside this 81 square meters. This is just a hall. As you can see, part of the this is also part of the hall. This is something I spoke to you at the beginning. I did mention that this is you have Roman designs using square mosaic sort of tiles, which is similar. This is Roman material. But what I did is try to implement it with Islamic sort of designs. Instead of using imagery, I've used Islamic. This is called Khatam Slimani, which is very very popular, like Solomon's ring. It's an 8-figure star. And again, this is another larger version of it. And I've managed to put the two materials together. And this is how I did it. This is how I actually implemented this work. I began by making a design, which is, as you can see, this will be in the center. And I worked on the edges. I've actually cut the zalij tiles, perfect, square, so I can actually fit. And it looks like a rug made out of marble. And this is how I actually worked on this, using small mosaic tiles. This is what I was still working on it. Again, this is the actual 8-figure star that I've used. Again, piece by piece, I had to do this because it was really a challenge to produce this. But like I said, using Roman material with Islamic design, like East and West, two cultures together, just like we are living in the West today. We are Muslims and Christians, whatever, living together. And this actually took, this very thing actually happened in Cordoba. Cordoba was one of the best cities in Europe. In the whole of Europe, Cordoba was the top. And there were students from many parts of Europe that came actually to study in Cordoba. Cordoba at one time had 500,000 people. They had about 70 libraries, 200 baths. They had streets that were lit, and they had water channels going to different houses. And it was just a fascinating place to be. And in fact, where the three religions also, the Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims lived together, this level, this high level of living together has not been reached as we can see today. There's lots of conflict. Still we have lots of conflicts, but at the time in Cordoba, these three religions lived together in harmony, and this is how it was once in Cordoba. Now this is the finish, the actual finish of that mosaic work, as you can see. This is when this wall is all finished, and that's the back. This is the saloon that we have. And just to make things a bit more, add a bit of inspiration and some kind of innovation, I've actually used this as a table, because normally the table is the most expensive in this setting. It's about 8,000 to 10,000 dirhams. I've actually used this. This is what they used to carry a bride. This is called a Maria. Okay, now this is the actual Maria. Most of the women obviously don't know. This is made of ma'dan, and obviously I've added the cedar wood, hand-carved cedar wood, glass, and another top there, and it made up a table. So this is something to also encourage other people to follow. I mean, you don't have to actually buy this covered into a table, but it is possible to produce things using cheap material. This ceiling is cedar wood. They also use some brass chandeliers, handmade with the stained glass. That's the actual table, and that's the actual wall unit, which I'm actually using like a little small museums where I have some manuscripts, handwritten manuscripts, and other bits that I actually bring from my travels. Again, this is one of the big chandeliers I have on the salon. Okay. So this is the actual wall unit, and it's the same project I actually gave to the students in the Academy of Traditional Arts in Casablanca. These are some of it's more like a museum. This is something about the Moroccan civilization, Hadara, Islamiyya al-Maghribiya, and this is some parts of the relics. Like this is a Mahfuz of the Quran, handwritten with Khat al-Maghribi. These are some, obviously a book on Ibn Battuta. There's a very famous book I would recommend everyone to read. It's written by a German writer, who's an excellent. And these are some old magazines. Okay. We're still in the first floor. Again, this is the entrance to the library. It's a small library with an actual fountain made of zalij that I actually showed you at the beginning. All hand-cut pieces. Okay, this is again still in the library. It's very small. It's only about 2 meters by 3. But once you go inside, you wouldn't like to leave because in fact, I had the connections. Once you open the door, the actual water just flows automatically. This is something using also today's technology with a sensor. So this is the kitchen. This is traditional Moorish kitchen. Using al-asala and mu'asala together, because obviously this is what's about. As you can see, this is also wood, but I've used also stone bricks within the actual wood.
Can you open it?
Yes, it opens actually, yes. Once you open it, you can actually store all your goods inside.
So it's just
It looks like a decor,
it's
but
wood.
it's actually, the frame is wood.
Yeah.
And then the actual, these are the bricks.
Yeah.
But this is just a small layer of bricks that's been cut and fitting within the wood, so you can actually follow the design.
I need
But
a
it actually
copy.
opens.
I need a copy of it.
Oh, inshallah, no problem. 500 euros. And this is the rest of the kitchen. As you can see, I've used I've used some of the traditional, I've used, like, as you can see, traditional sort of ceiling, using, as you can see in the villages, they use mud and straw. And this is something that resembles the similar kind of design, as you can see. And also, I try to use like some of the material from different parts of Morocco, and this is from Showan also. This is handmade, so it also represents a bit of work, artistic work from Showan. Now this is the second floor. The second floor has a little bit of an architectural illusion. I've used 3 different arches in this hall. This section of arches is from Meknes in Darh Moulay Ismail, in Moussarid of Moulay Ismail. This is very Moroccan, and this is a section from Alhambra Palace. And the one opposite is from Medina al-Zahra in 7 kilometers out of Cordoba. So this is the section of Alhambra. As you can see here, in fact, they have a chain here with the name